I think, I think, I think I'm safe. I think I lost her. As long as I keep hidden, I'll be okay.
Blam blam.
What was that?
Pew pew.
No.
Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang bang. Bang
No.
bang.
No. No! Oh, it was just a dream. This time around, we have subject 14M-RFT11, Aya Suzuki. Hailing from Japan, she is 26 years old at a height of 5'3" and weighing around 123 pounds. As you can guess, she is a police officer that has a brother that currently resides at a hospital. Note, she suffers from mild necrophobia and is prone to panic. That's rather interesting. For someone to have this fear and condition, the police really saw something in her, didn't they? She became a police officer solely based on her longing towards justice, but she's having doubts about her job after her family was involved in a murder case. At the same time, she became more obsessed with justice that she started to think that she's the only one who could bring justice to the world. She is repulsive at the sight of a corpse. When she occasionally has to inspect animal corpses, it puts severe stress on her. Her brother's name is Suzuki Hikaru. He lost both his legs. The way that could have been worded could have been a lot better, but nonetheless, she's going through quite a lot, especially with all the losses within her family. Hell, it says that Aya saw her mother's mutilated body. No one should have to go through that. One's values determines who they are. Her value set can be summarized with a single word: justice. Is it just or is it unjust? Every action and thought are driven by the simple logic. Her values developed when she was kidnapped as a 13-year-old and rescued by police officers in a dramatic case. Looks like her decision to apply for a homicide department was affected by this experience. She becomes ruthless when she believes her action is appropriate to her value. Otherwise, however, she hesitates and slinkers. It is unknown that her firm and unyielding character was developed by her tragic experiences or her actions developed her character. But one thing for sure, justice is everything to her. Denying justice means denying her existence. This seems rather black and white, doesn't it? What is just or unjust depends on so much more than just one judgment. It comes in social norms, laws, morals, and so much more that outqualifies my own abilities and own judgment. Even for an officer, was this the right move for her? She is also necrophobic. It appears to be a symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder after seeing her mother's body ripped apart by a serial killer. Aya's weapon of choice is the gun. Her training is one thing, but another hypothesis is that she doesn't have to suffer the sensation of killing or sight of having killed. Okay, that is very dangerous. I mean, the things she saw at a young age and what that did to her seems worrying. I don't feel especially comfortable with her wielding a gun either. It seems she's desensitized with the use of it, and she has so much power within a bullet. Or many bullets. How do I put it? Fortune is not on her side. Aya is always serious, but she's got a loose screw. You know the type. Takes their friends out for a night out, says they're paying, and then they forget they didn't bring their wallet. This in no way implicates Dr. K, who just happened to have done exactly that. Weird. Anyway, those people who do everything to put on an aura, yet make a crucial mistake that ruins everything. Aya is one of those. She is scarily obsessed with justice, yet this is her critical flaw. She can be easily convinced of anything if she is told it is a matter of justice. Before coming to Lumia, she took on cases that others wouldn't, all for a sense of justice. Aya went undercover as a waitress while investigating a secret club frequented by people with a unique taste. She also took on cases that nobody else wanted to take because they had very little evidence. She used to be so clumsy that she would go without handcuffs or a gun. Her reports would talk about this everywhere. Other times, Aya would fire while forgetting to reload. She would run towards the source of gunfire, but she would take the wrong course and get lost. Alright, so she's clumsy. Not exactly the greatest start. How exactly did she get this job again? I mean, I get the determination, but maybe she shouldn't be an officer. She is far from meticulous, but it doesn't mean that her belief in justice is shaky. Her belief in justice is stronger than anyone out there, but we don't know just what she thinks justice is exactly. It's such an abstract concept in the first place, but at least, based on her behavior around others and her documents before coming to Lumia, we can conclude that justice for her is about punishing those who harms others' happiness and safety, or those who can. When Aya first arrived at the island, she said she couldn't kill innocent people, but over time, her view on the other subjects evolved, from innocent victims to potential criminals. Aya has concluded that they require is not her protection, but her judgment. Didn't I say that? Justice is so complex that you question those in authority on whether they know what justice is. And if I were a test subject, I don't want to deal with Aya's judgment. Especially if that means if I'm going to live or if I'm going to die. I have a good feeling that I would die. One might think that this is a radical shift, but it is true that her pursuit of justice and need to protect the happiness of others became pathological after her family was slaughtered by a mass murderer. The psychiatric evaluation that she had right after the incident came to a similar conclusion. It's been confirmed that Aya requires extended psychiatric care due to it. Before that incident, she believed that justice achieved through wrong means could never be right, but now she has become flexible enough that she is willing to work with Zahir and Jackie, both of whom she regards as criminals, at least temporarily. It is understood why she could work with Zahir, but it's hard to believe why she would work with Jackie. Outside this island, Jackie would have been Aya's nemesis. If you say that two wrongs can't be right, that doesn't mean to do those two wrongs to try to make it right. Yes, she needs care, and a lot of it, because this is something that needs that extensive treatment and doesn't just go away after time has idly passed or just from one therapy session. And to think that cop would cooperate with a serial killer, a scary one at that killed her own family. But okay, I am curious on what Aya likes and dislikes though. What does she like? Well, there seems nothing out there that she obsesses over. Actually, it's remembered that Aya was talking to Shukai on what she wants to eat. Haagen-Dazs, stewed mackerel, mushroom nabe. Nothing out of the ordinary, but difficult to get on this island. She started crying after listing a few more. She assumed those were Aya's daily meals. Perhaps they have an emotional history where her family used to eat together when they were whole and happy. You cannot ascertain whether Aya misses the food or she misses the memories associated with them. I'll go with the latter on this one. I talked about this earlier, but food is something that we have an emotional feeling to, whether that's taste or experience. These were probably the foods she remembered with her family, and it's something and probably the few things that she can hold on to other than her brother. That really makes me feel for her, you know? All that weight she carries ever since that one awful day. I don't think I would even wish this upon my worst enemy. What does Aya hate? Isn't it obvious? What do you think? Alcohol, tobacco, gambling, and drugs. All gifts to humankind from God. How boring her life must be. What joy is there in life without any of them? They are great for forgetting your troubles. It would suit Aya well. Okay, that's very obvious, but that somehow does surprise me. I don't know why it does. But who wrote this? Average people rarely get a chance to see a corpse other than dead cats or dogs, but police officers see many dead bodies in their line of work. If a police officer is not comfortable looking at a corpse, well, it would be wise to stay away from the homicide unit. They don't conduct autopsies, but if a police officer were to panic at the sight of death, they would jeopardize the operation. Ever since Aya witnessed the murder of her family, she suffered hyperventilation and panic attacks at the mere sight of blood. It took her 6 months leave from her duties and psychiatric care. Her symptoms subsided, but a career in violence won't do her any good. When she returned to work after receiving treatment, there were several offers for her to move to another department, but she insisted on staying. But she must have known that the offers weren't for her, but for themselves. I'm sure that there were plenty of people who could have replaced her, and they know that she could only delay investigations because of her condition. If there's one thing that Aya doesn't do, it's to give up. And that is as good as it is bad, and pretty sure I don't need to say why. I'm sure to have hammered that point in by now. I can imagine what she would have felt. Aya probably wanted to prevent other people from becoming victims like her, but insisting to do it all herself is serving her own desire rather than serving justice. In the end, keeping her position wasn't conducive to justice, but to her own obsessions. On what basis does she think that she has the right to judge others? Sure, she may as a police officer, but as a test subject on this island just like the others, I don't understand how she still thinks she is the judge and the others are all criminals. I don't think she has thought about this, but she's ignoring this question just like she ignored the offers for a transfer. I'm sure she knows that she is not qualified to judge others. She just can't keep ignoring that fact. She will eventually face reality when it can no longer be ignored. I'm curious to see what her reaction is when she does. And that's the reality. You aren't really a cop once you set your feet here. By the gods, you're a test subject, as terrible as that is. She's only one person and trying to do something right, which I have all the respect for, but when does she look at the bigger picture? If she can, I imagine that wouldn't be easy whatsoever. Especially if you have a brother that sees what's happening. And thus, we did get a couple words from him. You work with my sister. Hello. How is Aya doing? It's been a while since I've seen her, but that doesn't mean I want her to come and see me. Actually, I know it's hard for my sister to be next to me. I know I remind her of the accident. She thinks it's her fault that it happened, but as you know, it's not her fault. Our parents passed away and I have some difficulties getting around now, but I won't let one accident get in my way. I know there's a way to live with these injuries, but Aya always talks like everything is over. I can take anything, but can't take seeing her in pain and breaking down. That's why I decided to give her some space. I think that was the right decision for both of us. I concluded that we both need time to think because I don't want to hate myself and my sister. It may take some time, but I hope that we can go back to where we were before. She is always kind, righteous, and confident. Isn't she? You're not wrong, Hikaru. I mean, I do see that in her, despite her flaws and her one big flaw of justice. And he knows more than I do. Easily. Losing your parents is traumatizing. And in the way that they went, who wouldn't be? I'm sure that Aya is all the good that we can see beneath the impact and behavior that's within. She certainly needs a lot of help, and being here isn't going to make that better, sadly. If we could even get a glimpse of the good that her brother saw, that would be nice. But with how the experiments go...
Bang, bang!
No.
Bang, bang!
No, no, no!
Bang, bang!
This can't be happening!
Bang, bang.
It's...
Bang, bang!
Oh. It's
Bang, bang!
just my phone.
Bang, bang!
Why did I set
Bang,
my
bang.
ringtone to that?
Bang, bang!
Jeez. And that was the end of the Eternal Return file of Aya Suzuki. I don't think I'll ever hear Bang Bang quite the same anymore, despite it already causing me enough pain. But regardless, here's the next one.
People always leave traces behind.
Didn't see that one coming now, did ya? Welcome back, Arda. Welcome back. But thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jibba jabba. My kings, my queens, and my royals, and I. See you soon.
Lord knows I try.